So today begins the last section of your high school math career. Woo! Okay. I think there are 14, including today, to go. Dave? Yes, I think. 5 this week, 5 next week, 4 the week after. Okay. So, right now, the tentative plan for the next 14 days is 9-7 this week, quiz Thursday, review next week, test either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Don't know yet. Totally up to you. Okay? Final sometime either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the following of the 4-day week. Okay? So you've got a quiz this week, a test next week, and a final the week after. Okay? Those are the 3 things that we have to get accomplished yet in the next 4 days. It depends on when we take the test. Okay? Alright? So, the last section. Are you ready? It's going to be tough. Solve that for me. We've done it this year. We've done it in this class. You did it last year. You did it the year before. You did it the year before. So you've done this type of problem 4 straight years. How do you want to do it? Math. Yes. How? Elimination? Okay. Alright. Do we have to do it using elimination? No. Substitution is already kind of set up for us already too. We got a variable that we could easily solve for. Okay. I'm a big fan of elimination, so I'm going to go with elimination. Okay. Alright. Which variable do you want to eliminate? X. Okay. So if I'm going to eliminate X, what am I going to multiply and where? Bottom one by -3. So I'm going to take this entire bottom equation and I'm going to multiply it by -3. That gives me -3x plus 30y equals -18. Then take the top equation and do nothing to it but rewrite it. Now what am I going to do with those equations? Add them. Okay? -3 plus 3 goes away. 30 plus 4, so that's 34y. -18 plus 1, -17. Now I need to solve that for y. Divide by 34. So y here is equal to -1/2. Okay. Now what? Top equation. Okay. So that then would be 3x plus 4 times -1/2 equals 1. 4 times -1/2 is -2. Add 2. Divide by 3. And I get x equals 1. Agreed. Okay. Now what? Check my equations. 3 times 1. 3. 4 times -1/2. -2. 3 plus -2 is +1. Okay? 1 is 1. 10 times negative 1/2? Negative 5. 1 minus negative 5. 6. 6 is equal to 6. So my final answer here is the point 1 comma negative 1/2. Yes? Huh? Now, we were saying that that's elimination, right? So we can solve systems of equations using elimination. We just did it. Tim, you would also come up with another way? Substitution. Can anybody come up with another way? To solve a system of equations. More than one equation at a time. We did them back late January, early February. It was the first topic we did second semester. We also did it in Algebra 2. We also did it in Geometry. We also did it in Algebra 1. There are 3 other methods to solving systems of equations. Graphing is another. Two more. Two more. Oh yeah. Matrices. Kramer's rule is the other one, yeah? Okay. So we did those 5. So far this year, we've done all 5 of those. Okay? Now, like I said, it's the last 2.5 weeks of school. Okay? Do we think it's going to be nice? Okay? It really isn't that bad. Okay? But what we're going to do, because I'm mean old Linz, we're going to solve quadratic systems now. Okay? A quadratic system is a system that includes 2 of the following: circles, parabolas, ellipses, hyperbolas, lines. Okay? So you might have a circle intersecting a line. How many times could a circle and a line intersect? 2. 1. None. Okay? 2, 1, or none. You might have 2 parabolas intersect. How many times could 2 parabolas intersect? 1, 2, none. What about 3? What? That, not in this stuff, no. Could we have two parabolas intersect 3 times? We can actually. We can have it intersect 4 times. Right? Okay. Because we got left and right ones. Yeah. So 2 parabolas could be up to 4. Could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Okay. We could have a parabola and a line. Okay. 0, 1, or 2. We could have an ellipse and a parabola. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah. So the fun starts today. Honestly, you're on the surface, it looks like OMJ. Okay? But really, if you take a step back and you look at it from the mathematical perspective, this is awesome. This is math. This is all about math. It's all about algebra because it's all solving. Okay? So, from a mathematics perspective, this is the bomb.com. This is all that in a bag of chips that ain't stale. Okay? Alright? So, we're going to have 2 of those 5. Again, you have all those in your notes. This is what we've done the last 6 weeks. Okay? So you got the equation of a circle. You've got the equation of parabolas. You've got the equation for ellipses. You've got the equations for hyperbolas. You should know. Excuse me. You should know by now y equals mx plus b. Okay? So we're going to have 2 of those 5 intersecting. Possibly. Okay? Okay? So, one way to solve these is using substitution. Okay? That's one way to solve these. So, if I'm using substitution, the steps are basically the same as they were in February when we did substitution back then. Okay? We're going to solve one of our equations for x or y. Okay? Looking at those 2, which one's going to be the easiest one to solve for? Second equation for y. Why is that the easiest one? It's already done for us. Right? Don't make it harder on yourself. Take what we gave you. Okay? Then, step 2. I'm going to substitute that back in to my other equation. So this is going up here. Sure. Easy for me to write. Okay? Is going in for y. So that becomes x squared plus quantity x minus 1 squared equals 13. Now it says we've got to solve that thing. Okay? If there's one thing that you take away from mathematics with me, it's that x minus 1 quantity squared is not x x squared minus 1. Because really, it's x minus 1 times x minus 1. And then you've got to do your double distribution or your foiling, whichever one you want. X squared minus x plus 1 gets me x squared minus 2x plus 1. Combine like terms. Do my x squareds go away? No. Does my linear term go away? No. So because my x squareds didn't go away and my linear term didn't go away, that means I've got to get everything onto one side. So it becomes 2x squared minus 2x minus 12 equals 0. I got to get it equal to 0. If my x squared terms went away, then I could get variable equals number and solve it from there. If my linear term went away, then I could get squared term equals number, square root both sides, don't forget the plus or minus. Okay? But because neither one of them went away, I got to go this way. Now what should I do? Even before I factor. So basically, divide every term by 2. Yep. So x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. So we divided every term by 2. Now what? Now what do we have to do? Now we've got a factor. Okay? So what does that factor to be? Do we agree with x minus 3x plus 2? Somebody other than Jackie, what do we do next? What do you got? How did you come up with 3 and negative 2? Set the factors equal to 0. Yep. Okay. So we say x minus 3 equals 0. And x plus 2 equals 0. So that gives me x equals 3 and x equals negative 2. Okay? Alright? So then now we've got to find the points, correct? Alright? Is it going to be easier to find the points on the circle or on the line? Line. It's going to be easier. Okay? Refreshing my memory, the equation of the line was y equals x minus 1 so if I have x equals 3, then y is going to equal 3 minus 1, or y is going to equal 2. Agree? If x is equal to negative 2, then y minus equals negative 2 minus 1, y equals negative 3. Agree? So my two prospective points are 3, 2 and negative 2, negative 3. They're on the line, correct? Because we used the line to find them. What do I now have to check? If they're what? On the circle. So the equation of my circle was x squared plus y squared equals 13. So I have to double check these. I have to check to make sure that they're on the line. Then I have to make sure that they're also on the circle. Okay? 3 squared is 9. 2 squared is 4. 9 plus 4 is 13, and 13 is equal to 13. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 3 squared is 9. 4 plus 9 is 13. 13 is equal to 13. So both of these points are not only on the line, but they are also on the circle, so therefore they are my intersection points. So this line intersects that circle in 2 spots. Questions? All right? You try it. Step number 1, solve for a variable. Done, right? Okay. Step number 2, plug that variable in the other equation. Okay? So that gives me x squared plus the quantity 2x minus 10 squared minus 25 equals 0. X squared is x squared. 2x minus 10 is 2x minus 10 squared is 2x minus 10 times 2x minus 10, which is 4x squared minus 40x plus 100. Then minus 25 equals 0. That gives me 5x squared minus 40x plus 75 equals 0. Divide everything by 5 gives me x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals 0. Factor gives me x minus 3, x minus 5. Tells me x minus 3 equals 0, x minus 5 equals 0. So x is going to be 3 or 5. My line equation was y equals 2x minus 10. So if x is 3, then y is going to equal 2 times 3 minus 10. 6 minus 10 is negative 4. If x is 5, then y equals 2 times 5 minus 10. Bless you, by the way. So y is equal to 0. 2 possible points that these two intersect at. 3, negative 4, and 5, 0. I need to check them in the equation of the circle, which was x squared plus y squared minus 25 equals 0. 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 squared is 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. Minus is 25. 0 squared is 0. 25 plus 0 is 25. Minus 25 is 0. Both check out on the line. Both check out on the circle. Both then are my answers. Questions? No? I will give you a hint prior to this one. Sometimes you might have to think outside the box. So if I leave this as is, right? Because it's already solved for y. If I leave that as is, I'm going to have to put a fraction 1 back into an equation how many times? Twice. One of the times it's going to be squared. Okay? So, not necessarily, it's doable. You'll get the answer. But it's, right? Okay? So instead, if we're thinking outside the box, I'm going to solve this equation for x. So I'm going to multiply the entire thing by -2. If I multiply the entire equation by -2, I get -2y equals positive x minus 8. Add 8 to both sides, and I get -2y plus 8 equals x. So 1, I've created a non-fraction equation, and 2, it's an equation that when I substitute it, it's only got to go in to one spot. Okay? So by thinking outside the box, I've created it easier for myself. Okay? So we get y squared minus 10y minus 8 times -2y plus 8 plus 57 equals 0. So that's going to be y squared minus 10y plus 16y minus 64 plus 57 equals 0. So that becomes y squared plus 6y minus 7 equals 0. That factors y plus 7, y minus 1. Y plus 7 equals 0. Y minus 1 equals 0. Y equals -7. Y equals positive 1. Yes? Okay. So my line, or my easier one, was y equals -1/2 x plus 4. So if y is equal to -7, then that's -7 equals -1/2 x plus 4, which becomes -11 equals -1/2 x, which is 22 equals x.
if y is equal to 1, then that becomes 1 equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. So that's negative 3 equals negative 1/2 x. So that's 6 is equal to x. Okay? So that gives me potential points of 22, comma, negative 7, and 6, comma, positive 1. My other equations, if somebody could read it off for me, that would be great. Y squared, plus 8x, minus 8x. Plus 57 equals 0. Okay? So I've got to check those two in there. So we get negative 7 squared is positive 49. Negative 10 times negative 7 is plus 70. 8 times 22 minus 176 plus 57. That's 119. I'm going to go plus 57 here. 6, carry the 1, 176. Those cancel out. That equals 0. Woo! Okay. Second one. 1 minus 10 minus 48 plus 57. So that's going to be negative 9, negative 57, 0. So they both check out. Okay? So they both work out, so therefore these two are my answers. Good times. This is awesome. I love math.